people are so freed up when they understand how to have their emotions working for them rather than against them. And that's because emotions, energy in motion, it's our guidance system. It's our guidance system for life. It's data, it's information, it's signaling us how things are going and what we need to be doing. So when I talk about emotions and that energy that's moving through our body, what happens is that movement, we put meaning to it in terms of feelings. So it might be, oh, there's a tightness in my throat, and that's the feeling of being scared. It might be, there's a rising up of energy up into my chest and out to my arms, and it put to that kind of energy, that movement. Oh, I'm feeling powerful, I'm feeling strong. Maybe there's like a sort of grounded feeling in my stomach, a settled feeling, and that's I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling relaxed. So we've got these signals happening in our body, but basically they fall into two categories. One, the unpleasant feelings. They're there to guide us in some sort of way. We need to bring about a change. So it could be I feel bored, and therefore I need to start thinking about ways to challenge myself, be stimulated, be inspired. Maybe it's I feel hurt and I need to make a change in terms of letting someone know what I'm thinking and feeling about that. Or it could be, oh, this really, I feel uncomfortable, I need to get out of this situation. So one way is with the unpleasant emotions, it guides us about changes we need to be responding to. And then we have the pleasant ones, the ones where we might feel connected and excited and relaxed and calm, and all those pleasant emotions, they are signals to us to go, find more ways of bringing that about. See if you can connect with people because that feeling of really belonging, that felt really good. Or, oh yeah, keep trying out new things because that feels really exhilarating. So basically, our emotions are there to guide us to things. Oh, what needs to change? What's a bit off track? And what are those things we can bring about more of? We are born with our emotions working for us. Certainly, if you've been around any babies, you would know that they're very good at being able to let you know when they're feeling uncomfortable, when they're wanting some changes brought about for them. Maybe they're hungry, maybe their nappy needs changing, maybe they're feeling lonely. So definitely in the form of crying when we first arrive here is how we communicate those unpleasant emotions. And then equally, we can tell as well when a baby is feeling safe and comfortable and loved and just satisfied. What happens over time? For most of us, in some kind of way, we do pick up that some of our emotions are not considered acceptable. And then we learn to kind of push those down. So sometimes it's done with the best of intentions. So say we've had an accident, fallen over, scraped our knee, and someone's telling us, it's all right, don't cry, it's all right. Or maybe we're feeling frustrated and angry about something and we're told off for that. Maybe we've seen someone else that's crying, saying, and they're apologizing for it. And all the way down to, for some of us showing our emotions, it could be that even leads to violence, that it's just not safe for us to show that we're upset about something. So to varying degrees, we tend to learn how to push down our emotions. And this is a useful strategy to have. Like I said, it can actually help us survive. And equally, sometimes we do just have to push down and get on with things. If we are constantly doing that, and over time, that begins to have an impact it impacts in two ways. One is that when we're pushing down our emotions, pushing down those signals, we're missing out on that signal and guidance in life. So it can come out in that we begin to sort of second guess ourselves. Maybe we feel a bit lost because we're not getting those signals. Maybe things keep happening to us because we're not picking up on those signals and we're feeling quite stuck. So that's one way when we push down our emotions that can impact us. The other thing is that when we push down emotions, we're not just pushing down the uncomfortable ones, we're pushing down the pleasant ones as well. So that can mean that we can be going through life and it's not all that satisfying or fulfilling. Even when things happen, a person might say, I know logically that this is exciting, but I just feel a bit flat. I can't actually feel that joy, that excitement. Oh, that's right. So we can push down our emotions in a number of ways. We can use external things to distract us. So things like scrolling on our phone, watching TV, food, something uncomfortable happens and we can just push that down with some food, drink, alcohol, other drugs. And even those things that in some respects and in some contexts can be seen as quite positive things, like exercising. If we're exercising because we're wanting to distract away from uncomfortable feelings, well, that can have an impact over time. Or working really hard, or even really kind of helping out lots of people. All of these can be ways that rather than just being aware and letting the emotions be there and move through us, because that's all they are. They're there to signal us. And once we've acknowledged, I hear what you're saying and I'm going to respond to that, the energy, that emotion doesn't need to stick around. It can kind of just move on through. When we've been pushing down emotions and our mind then decides, actually, you're safe to experience this now. So yes, it was understandable previously. It was a good strategy to push them down, but now actually you need to let these start moving through because they're beginning to have an impact. Pushing down things all the time can really drain our energy. What can start happening is the emotions start spilling out in ways that can kind of surprise us. So maybe it's our response to a situation where the emotions that we're experiencing seem a bit out of proportion to the situation. And that's because it's not just us responding to the current situation, it's all of that stuff that's been stored inside is coming out. So it's a lot better for us to learn how can we actually let emotions move on, take the signals, take the learnings, and move on. And only then need a little bit of the signal rather than it really kind of this overwhelming kind of emotions being present and maybe like overwhelming responses too. Thinking, it can mean that we can feel quite out of control, wondering, oh gosh, when is this going to come out again? Am I going to end up crying in a situation I don't really want to be? Am I going to lash out and actually hurt someone? So it's really quite important for us to have ways of allowing our emotions to move on. And when we ask that question, well, how do we let emotions move on? We can think of maybe the first one that comes to mind is that having a good cry. And it's definitely one of the ways we can let emotion move through our body. Exercise, like moving, that can be a way of letting emotion move through. Talking to someone and feeling like it's not just inside, it's actually out, that can help. And we can be doing all of those things and still we can just almost in our hearts, we can know, I know there's these emotions there and I know I need to let go of something. I just don't really know how. And what can be going on there, when we understand it from a mindset perspective, is that part of the role of the mind is to be storing away our memories. It's very useful to have memories stored away, so we know how to be doing things, and taking that information for the future. And when we do it, when we store memories, so really there we're talking about the habit, the subconscious mind. When events happen, we will store away that information of what was seen and what was heard, maybe what was tasted, what was smelt, that sensory information. So that's stored there. And then our emotions, what we were feeling, that's stored there too. As well, in life, when things happen, there's always learnings that go along with it. Sometimes it's decades later, but those learnings all get stored in, associated with events in our life. And because in life those learnings are really important, it's in part what makes us who we are. We don't want to lose those learnings, so it's almost like the emotion, the learnings, and that sensory information all gets tied in together. So when we understand that, we can go through that process of taking the learnings, which releases the emotions. So we still remember the sensory information, what did happen, but we can just take the learnings, which releases the emotions, really lets them move through, because that's what's important, it's the learnings. And the beauty about this is that we can be visiting events, and as a coach you can be visiting events with people, not needing to share any of what's going on, we're just there taking the learnings. And often people, Amanda and I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, taking them through these processes, and it's very common for people to say, I really don't know if I'd be able to remember or know where to go. The mind always knows. And yeah, it really is very freeing and stops people being in those situations where it does feel like all this emotions coming into situations, and they're just responding to the events in front of them there with all those learnings on board. So one other little reminder is that these emotions, because the signals are so important to us, our mind, our habit part of our mind, when it judges, we are actually in a safe position now to be letting emotions move through. So we are freed up, and so we can be back to letting us just pick up on those situations, on those signals. We can think of it like a child. When a child wants our attention, which is fair enough, them wanting our attention, when we're busy, when we're distracted, say we're in a conversation with someone else, the child comes along and look at me, like look what I've done, and we're not giving them attention, what tends to happen is they get louder. They might even start shaking us to get our attention if we're really distracted. And that's a little bit like our emotions. They will start off giving us little gentle reminders like pay attention, and then they can really start to, if we're not listening, if we're not paying attention, they will be finding a way to really get our attention. And sometimes that's through physical health and pain that's happening in our body. Sometimes it can be just maybe us feeling really, really kind of down and like something's got to change, or many different ways that it can go. Enough, you need to look at this, you need to be making some changes there. So ideally what we're aiming for, there's that that saying of being hit by a feather, hit by a brick, hit by a bus, when we're wanting to get our attention. We want to be back to that slight little tuning in and awareness of, that's got my attention, take the learning, do the response and move on. We want the feather things. That's what really means we feel in control of our lives, when we're not having to get that really getting our attention. That's what means we can move forward confidently in life. So I hope that this has given a little bit more understanding of emotions, that it's just so good to have them working for us as that guidance system. That's what gives us that self-confidence. That's where logically we can know, something on paper it looks good, but something just doesn't feel right here. Or I know this looks really good, but but something's a bit off here. And of course there's other things that really allow us to be confident in life. If we're picking up on signals, I really need to speak up here, and we don't really have communication tools to do that, we haven't been taught the skills, then yes, all of these things do come into play. But really, once we understand our emotions, all of us have them, even people that say they don't do emotions, that would make them robots. We all have them, we all want to have them really working for us as that guidance. And really, life is kind of short. We want to be enjoying it. It's pretty amazing. We want to be enjoying that full range of emotions. So we work with people individually to do this work. So maybe you're listening to this because you're about to do that in coaching that you're doing with us, and just having that little reminder about emotions and what the purpose of doing some of the techniques we'll be doing. Maybe you've just come across this and are interested in emotional intelligence, finding out a little bit more about that. Or perhaps you do work in a coaching or counselling situation in HR, and are keen to learn some of these techniques. So if that's the case, there's details in the comments there. Have a look at how you can be in touch with us. We love sharing this powerful information, really. And if nothing else, really hope that it's beginning, planted a seed there, that emotions, they are amazing, they're our guidance system. We want to be having them working for us. We want that to be happening at the earliest times, so we're not having to be hit by a brick or a bus to get our attention. And we want you to be just really enjoying being in the moment, or those really pleasant ones, experiencing them too. So we'd love to hear, is this, you already knew all this and it's just reaffirmed it, or were there some interesting things there? I hadn't thought of it that way. What your experiences as you've been working through some of this. Okay, take care.